What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. The Europa League quarterfinals are here. First leg time, and this is where things get really serious. No group games, no safety nets, just two legs, tiny margins, and one mistake changing the entire tie. And as a Tottenham fan, I know exactly how brutal European football can be because we got knocked out in the Champions League by Atletico Madrid, thanks to Anton Kinski. One goal, one moment, one defensive lapse, and suddenly everything flips. But we are champions in Europe last season, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. That's why I actually love the Europa League. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and full of different styles clashing. In this video, I'm going through all four Europa League quarterfinal first legs, and this isn't just vibes and guesses. I'm breaking down recent Europa League form, home versus away trends, the key players who decide these games, and why I've landed on each prediction. And once we go through our picks, just like we did yesterday, I'll show you what you guys voted for in the community predictions, just what we did with the Champions League yesterday. Trust me, we do not agree on everything. If you enjoy these prediction videos, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and let's just get straight into it. I'm waffling too much now. Alright, let's start with Braga versus Betis, because this one is way tighter than people think. Braga have been ridiculously solid in this Europa League. I'm talking 7 clean sheets already this season, which is actually the most of any team left in the competition. And that's not a coincidence, is it? That's just a clear identity. At home in Europe, Braga are a nightmare to play against. They've won 5 of their last 6 European home games. They concede less than a goal a game, and they're perfectly happy winning matches without dominating possession. They don't chase games, they stay compact, wait for mistakes, and they punish you. Now with Betis, the quality is obvious. Technically, they're brilliant. They pass teams to death at times, but the problems show up away from home. In European away knockout games, Betis rarely keep clean sheets, and they struggle against deep, organised blocks, and they've failed to score in multiple away ties recently. So when people say Betis should dominate this, I don't see it playing out like that at all. For key players for Braga, everything goes through Ricardo Horta. He's their captain, the leader, and their biggest goal threat, especially in big European nights. If Braga score, chances are he's involved. For Betis, Anthony is the main danger. Direct, quick, capable of changing a game in one moment, but he'll need service, and Braga don't make that easy. This feels like one moment deciding the entire game. Now this one, pure tactics. Bologna don't get enough respect, but statistically they've been one of the best defensive teams in the competition. Just 7 goals are conceded in Europe, most of their games finishing under 2.5 goals. Very calm, very patient at home. They don't force things, especially not in first legs. Bologna are more than happy to keep it tight and let the tie develop. Now Villa, as much as it pains me to say as a Spurs fan, they've been unbelievably mature in Europe. I say hurts as a Spurs fan because they knocked us out in the FA Cup. It's to do with knockout football, isn't it? So away from home in this competition, Villa are unbeaten. They've kept 6 clean sheets overall, and they prioritise control over excitement. They don't overcommit, they don't panic. They'd happily walk away with a 0-0 here. For Bologna, Riccardo Orsolini is the outlet. When they do attack, he's usually the one driving them forward from wide areas. For Villa, it's Douglas Luiz. He controls the tempo, breaks up play, and makes Villa so hard to play through. Honestly, don't expect fireworks. Expect discipline, structure, and patience. And this is where the atmosphere really comes into play. Porto at home in Europe is a completely different level. They've won every home Europa League game. They average over 2 goals per match at the Drago, and they're unbeaten in European home games for years now. That stadium forces mistakes. Teams panic there. Forest deserve massive credit for getting this far, but defensively, they concede chances under sustained pressure. Away from home, clean sheets are rare. They rely a lot on counter-attacking moments. Forest will go for the away win, and I actually think they can get a goal. But defensively, holding Porto for 90 minutes is a huge ask. For Porto, William Gomez has been massive in this competition. He's their top scorer in Europe and loves games where Porto dominate territory. Forest actually beat Porto when Sean Dyche was his first game. Gibbs White scored the penalty. For Forest, everything creative goes through Morgan Gibbs White, of course. If Forest create anything, it starts with him, no question. This feels intense, physical, loud, proper knockout football. This is one of my favourite ties of the round. Freiburg have been elite defensively in the Europa League. Just 6 goals conceded. They've won every single home European match, and they're incredibly structured without the ball. They don't need to dominate possession, they dominate space. Celta Vigo, meanwhile, are the opposite though. One of the highest scoring teams left. They always attack, they always back themselves to score, but that attacking intent leaves gaps. So for Freiburg, Vincenzo Grifo is absolutely key. Set pieces, penalties, moments of magic, he decides games like this. For Celta, you can't talk about European nights without mentioning Iago Aspas. Experience, creativity, leadership, even when he's not scoring, he's influencing everything. This has goals written all over it on both sides. And now the community predictions, where it's your guys' predictions. So for Braga, you've gone 25%. That's why I said earlier in the video, none of you are backing Braga, but I do back Braga. And 75% of you have gone for Real Betis, who I don't back. For Bologna versus Aston Villa, you've gone 13% Bologna, and you've gone for a draw 13% as well, like me, and Aston Villa 75%, so you lot are backing Aston Villa. You are agreeing with me on the Porto one, because FC Porto 88% and Nottingham Forest 13%, and for the final game, Freiburg versus Celta Vigo, you lot put 71% for Freiburg and 9% for a draw, and Celta Vigo only got 29%, so you're like me, back in Freiburg. So there you have it. Those are my Europa League quarterfinal first leg predictions with form, stats, key players, and what could decide the ties and stuff. Yeah, let me know in the comments which prediction you agree with, which one you think I've completely messed up, and which team you genuinely think is going on to win the Europa League this season. I'll be back tomorrow for my Europa Conference League first leg quarterfinal predictions, and which are just as chaotic as these ones, and then next week is the second leg. But on the weekend, it's Premier League football finally after 3 weeks. Well, not finally, I haven't missed Premier League at all as a Spurs fan. So, but yeah, if you enjoy this prediction video, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, up the Spurs for Sunderland away on Sunday, and I'll be doing a reaction for that game, so enjoy the football.